Everyone talks about manifesting and mindsets, which is good, but most people don't talk about how to execute on the physical plane, how to take action on what matters to you. And because no one's teaching that, that's why your goals stay the same year after year because you're getting in all this good information, but you don't know how to take action on it. But in this video, I'm going to help you change that. Now, remember, like 3 or 4 years ago, I was working at Walmart and had all these goals that I wanted to achieve. I wanted to move out. I wanted to get a better job. I wanted to make more money. I wanted to start creating content consistently and just get on YouTube because at this point I was not posting on YouTube at all. And I had all these things I wanted to do, this burning passion in me, and I wasn't doing anything until I came across a YouTuber called Hamza. Now, I found this video randomly. He was on my sidebar. I just clicked them. But he alone made such an impact on my life because he was telling me things no one else had told me. And it's mainly about how to take action, how to do things you want to get done. I mean, he's the reason I started making schedules. I got my morning routine locked on. He's the reason why I went from writing for 30 minutes per session to 2 hours per session. I mean, this dude was definitely a physical teacher. You know how we have spiritual teachers and mindset teachers? He was a physical teacher, something that most people don't have that helped me take action on the physical plane. Mental mindset teachers help you get aligned mentally on the mental plane, and spiritual teachers help you get aligned on the spiritual plane. Well, this spiritual teacher helped me get my actions aligned on the physical plane. And because of that, because of me watching him and changing up how I was moving, I got a work from home job that I freaking love, and it's the easiest job I've ever worked. I moved out of my parents' house. I'm living with my girl. When we moved to a new city, I have completely new habits. I'm making content on YouTube. My entire life flipped around because I got aligned with a teacher that taught me how to take action in this physical plane. We need this stuff, but it's not very available out there. And I know I definitely needed it back in the day. And if I know I need it and you're watching this video, chances are you need it too. I mean, how many times have you watched a video or read a book or you learned something that would really change your life, but instead of taking action on it, you go to the next video, to the next book, like you're still looking for more information that would change anything when you already got the information that would change everything. Like this is how hard it is for us to take action because you weren't taught how to. So now that you understand this, you have a choice. You can continue going throughout life without a physical teacher guiding you on how to take action, how to execute, how to stop procrastinating, how to make plans, all this good stuff. You can continue going through life without that and continue struggling to achieve the things you want to achieve. Or you can do the complete opposite and say, I actually do need a teacher to help me execute, and you learn from one. And guess what? I'm one of them. So if you want to learn from a teacher who can teach you how to take action on the spiritual plane, the first thing we have to cover is making a plan. You always have to make a plan. Now the question is how? But first, you have to think about your goal. What do you want to achieve? Do you want more money? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to create content? Do you want to learn a skill? Do you want to speak a different language? Do you want to find a partner? Do you want to cook healthier? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to go to the gym? Do you want to improve control over your body? Do you want to get your mindset? Like, what is your goal? There's so many goals you can have. It can be small. It can be big. It doesn't matter. Just know what your goal is. Now that you know your goal, you need to know the behaviors, the 1 to 3 most important behaviors you can do to make the most progress on that goal. And the reason why I'm suggesting 1 to 3 is because of the 80-20 rule, which states 80% of the things you get come from 20% of the things you do. For example, 80% of pollution comes from 20% of companies, 20% of criminals commit 80% of crimes, and 80% of your success in life comes from the 20% of things you do, which translates to the 1 to 3. You don't need to do a lot because if you do a lot, you're going to get less in return. But if you do less, but more, you focus more on the important stuff, you'll get more in return. That's why I'm suggesting you only pick 1 to 3 behaviors. Now, once you've got your behaviors figured out, this is the last step of making a plan. You want to put it through this formula. I will do behavior at time or event in environment. And that's all you have to do to make a plan. Know your goal, figure out your behaviors, and complete that formula. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what a filled out formula for that will be, but let me go through each element really quick so we can be on the same page. So, behavior, you've already figured it out. You've already written down the behavior you want to do for your goal. 1 to 3. It can be one, it can be two, it can be three. It doesn't have to be exactly one. It doesn't have to be exactly three. Sometimes I only have one behavior for my thing, for things I want to do, and it helps. So behavior covered that. Time is whatever. It's like 5 p.m., 6 a.m., 9:30, 9:45. Everybody knows time. Event. Now this is special. Event is something you already do in a day. So for example, you already brush your teeth, you already get on your phone, you already walk into the bathroom, you already eat breakfast. These are things you already do. These are events currently happening. And then environment is just the location you're going to be in: kitchen, bathroom, living room, car, outside, office. It doesn't matter. It's just your environment. So let me take you through an example of how you can make a plan following a goal, behavior, and then the formula. So for me, my goal is to juggle my juggling pins. And I have a video pop up, but it's to get better at that juggling. So what is a behavior I can do 1 to 3 that can improve my juggling skills? Well, this is very simple. Juggle. I don't need anything else. I don't need to watch any videos on how to juggle. I don't need to learn the first juggling skill to make and then have a whole plan of like the next skill I make and next skill I make. I don't need to wait into the perfect conditions until I have the perfect juggle. No, no, no. I just need to juggle. That's it. So if I just juggle, I'll get better at juggling pins. And the reason why I'm highly pushing 1 to 3 is because we have a tendency to seek out as much information as possible before ever getting started on what we want to get done. And it's something I've done so many times where I want to start a business, start a blog, get in the gym, but I spend weeks researching and planning and thinking about how to do it without doing it. But if you just focus on the 1 to 3 behaviors, it does not take you long to figure out what actually needs to get done. If you want to cook healthier, how do you cook healthier? What's the behavior you can do? 1 to 3. Well, one behavior is you can buy vegetables and meat. Another behavior is you can get rid of junk food out of your plate and keep it out of your plate. Another behavior is you cook. You choose to only cook at home. Like, these are small things. Another goal: learn how to speak Spanish. What are 1 to 3 behaviors you can do to learn how to speak Spanish? 1, listen to Spanish speakers for 5 minutes a day, and 2, learn 3 new vocabulary words in Spanish. I mean, that's as simple as it is. I'm giving you more examples so you can understand it's really simple. So going back to the example that I was giving you, I told you my goal is to get better at the juggling pins. I want to be able to learn 5 new advanced tricks with them. And one of them is going to be being able to juggle behind my back. But the behavior for improving and learning and attaining that goal, reaching that goal, is to juggle. Now, how can I put this into a plan, into a formula? Here it goes. I will juggle after I eat dinner outside. That's as simple as it is. And now all you gotta do is follow the plan every single day. So every day I'll know. After I eat dinner, I'm gonna go juggle outside. That's it. Now I could be even more specific and say I will juggle after I eat dinner for 5 minutes outside. So then I have the deadline that can help motivate me to get out, because I know I won't be doing this for a long time or just forever. So that's just an example. Follow that plan out every single day. Make sure that wherever you wrote your plan, you can see it. I have my plans every single day as my wallpaper, so I can see it as many times as I open my phone. So I'll be constantly reminded of what I plan to do. Or you can hang it up on your wall. If you wrote it on a piece of paper, you can hang it somewhere. Make sure wherever you hang it, you will walk past it constantly every single day. So you'll be constantly reminded of what you're trying to do. And also make sure that whatever you need to do is within your environment. So for example, if I'm saying I want to get better at juggling, I need to make sure that my juggling pins are somewhere I can easily get it and somewhere I'll easily see it. And so for me, I realized a good place to put my juggling pins is actually in my closet. Because when I walk in my closet, I have to get my car keys. And, the keys to lock the front door. Well, guess what? When I get my keys, I immediately see my juggling pins. And that reminds me, oh, wait, at some point I need to juggle. And just the mere act of going to that closet reminds me of juggling pins. And now it's easy for me to just juggle because it's right there. With YouTube, with this recording, I had everything set up the night before I even sat down to record. I had everything set up. I had my environment prepped, and I just sat down and started recording. It's as simple as that. And you want to make a plan every day. And to make it more into a habit, you can fit it into what you already do. So like I would say after you shower or after you have your dinner for the night, that's when you can make your plan. It's just a simple way to fit it in, right? You might be thinking like, all of this is too simple. Is this really gonna work? This is too simple. It has to be more to it. So I work from home. I work online, and I was having problems with the internet, and it was just annoying me because I'm hopping on these important calls that I'm finally getting through after calling people for like months on end. I'm finally getting them on the line. And I remember I was having this conversation with this guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I know you reached out to me a couple months ago, but I never heard from you." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think my email went to spam. Can you give me your email?" Yeah, I'll give you my email. And then my internet cut off, and the whole call dropped, and I still have yet to get him back on the phone. So, um, that day was very frustrating. I remember it was like 8 p.m. around this time. My girl was home. We were chilling. The internet was still messing up. And I was complaining to her, like, yo, this whole day has been crappy because the internet has been crappy. And she said, why not just call the people up, the internet provider, and see what they can do? So I call them up. Well, I don't call them, I text them. And they start helping me out. The guy tells me, look, this is what I need to do. Follow my exact steps, and we're going to help you get through this. All right, I'm following you. He tells me to go to the Wi-Fi, go to the modem, and unplug them. I said, check it. It's unplugged. Now what? He told me to wait. I waited. Then I said, I waited. Now what? He said, plug it back in. I said, I am on it. I plugged it back in. Now I said, what next? He said, wait. And I waited. Then the internet started working. I struggled my entire workday because I thought getting the internet fixed was going to be complicated. When in reality, it was as simple as unplugging it and plugging it back in. Most things are simple in life. We just complicate it. Yes, this is simple. Don't overcomplicate this. This is very easy and it will work for you. Now, the last thing our society wants us to be, and this is taking kind of a turning point, but I just want you to be aware of this. Our society does not want us to be great. And if you look at things, it values and what it pushes onto us, we can see from a mile away, our society does not want us to be great. Why? Because we are taught to value hedonism, instant gratification, pleasure, entertainment constantly. We're taught to value consumerism, shop, shop, shop. You just buy things and don't save anything. Just buy. Buy more and then that'll make you happy. And they're also taught to value obedience to authority. We don't listen to ourselves in our command, but let a teacher tell us what to do. Let an officer tell us what to do. Let, of course, us. Let an employer tell us what to do. And we will be on that because you've been taught to value pleasure, spending money, and obedience because the world and our society wants to control us. It wants to control us. And so what you're learning here goes completely against what our society is trying to put onto us. It goes against our values because what I'm teaching you is self-mastery, future thinking, and intentionality. And most people don't live their lives like that. And that's why they continue getting stuff they don't want. But if you can turn towards self-mastery, future thinking, and intentionality, things will change for you. And I promise, I do this stuff every single day. I make plans every single day. I get comments saying, I cannot believe you haven't blown up yet. When they see how long I've been on YouTube, how many videos I posted. And the reason I'm still posting, even though I haven't blown up, is because I make plans for this. I follow the plan out. It's as simple as that. And I do this because making a plan is a big step in living more intentional. And I do not want to be on the default mode of life. What is default mode? Default mode is when you wake up an hour before work and you chill out on your phone and you rush and get ready, you go to work and then you come home and you watch TV and you eat junk and you let time pass you by and then you go to bed and the whole process repeats until you have a day off, maybe 2 days off in a row, and then you relax, you take care of other things, you're too tired to do anything else, then the days off end and you're back to work and that continues for 40 years and then you die. Like, I don't want to be on that default mode. And if you aren't living intentionally, then you're going to be on the default mode by default. That is why I practice what I preach. And if you want to really take back control of your life, then you have to be more intentional and plan daily. Do not let default mode sink you in. But of course, making plans is not all there is to think of default mode. There are other things that I won't be able to cover in this video alone because I made this video insanely long. But that's why I made a course called Live by Design. That'll be the first thing in my description that will show you how to forever leave default mode behind and step into a life of intentionality. Now let me know in the comments, what are your goals? What are you working towards? Let's start a dialogue. And just by knowing your goal and understanding the actions you gotta take and having a plan that will push you to take those actions, you will now be living in intention. And it's the people who live with intention that get what they want because they are intentional about it. The people who don't live with intention, they get the things they have by default. And you better pray to God that by default, you're going to get something good. But most people don't get good stuff. They get bad things by default. They get a life of misery. So you have to make that decision. Do you want to live by intention and get what you want? Or do you want to live by default and get whatever is given to you, whether it's good or bad? The decision is up to you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, you know the rest, and I will see you for the next one.